Hi everyone, it's Sarah. Welcome back to another video tutorial at Mrs. Lincoln's Inkin. Earlier this week I posted this metallic background card using an embossing folder, a couple of different color inks, my sponges, and then my shimmer paint, which comes in a little container like this. And it comes in 3 different colors. It comes in white, silver, and I believe a copper color. And these right here are not one of my go-to items, which I'm really sad about. I need to start using them more because they're so pretty when they're on a card, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a shimmer or metallic look. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how to create that background. So let's go ahead and get started. First, what you're going to need is a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and this is just cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you need an embossing folder. And a little trick that I've learned is when you're picking your embossing folder, you want to try to find an embossing folder that has some openings where it doesn't get embossed, so it's just the flat paper, because then that's going to help you see the different kind of colors. So I'm using the Vine Street embossing folder, which you could have gotten from the celebration, which unfortunately just ended a few days ago, and I'm really sad about it. So I'm going to try this embossing folder. I haven't used this embossing folder yet, so we're going to see how it turns out. So I'm going to grab my Big Shot here. Here we go. And I'm just going to place my cardstock in my embossing folder. And then when you emboss, you want to make sure that all of your tabs on your Big Shot are open. So we're just going to have the base plate, a clear plate, our embossing folder, and then another clear plate, and we're just going to run it through. Just like that. There we go. Get this out of the way. Perfect. So now with Easter coming up, I wanted to try and do some Easter colors, so I chose Wild Wasabi and Primrose Petals. Plus, green and pink are my favorite color combination, so any chance that I get to use those, I'm all for it. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to start with one of our colors. So I'm going to start with the Wild Wasabi, and I'm going to get my sponge inked up, and then I'm just going to sponge it around in different areas, wherever I want the green to be. Then I'm going to take my Primrose Petal, and I'm going to do the same thing, just filling in some of those spots there. And you can always go back and add color or take color away. Not necessarily take it away, but like right here, I just went over some of the green because I wanted it to be more pink there. Then I'm just going to come back in here with my green, go over it again, just to get it the desired color that you want. There. That looks good to me. So put our inks aside. So far, well, let's put a little bit more pink right here. And then a little bit more green. Some of the color kind of came off there. There we go. That looks good. So right now, it looks like that. We just have splashes of color everywhere of the pink and green. A little more green right there. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our shimmer paint and we're going to shake it. And when you shake it, you're going to hear that there's a little ball in there that's going to get it all nice and shook up. And I'm going to take one of my sponge daubers, and I'm just going to open this up, and I'm just going to pour a very small amount right there in the lid. And it does go a long way, so be careful when you're pouring that you don't over pour. Then I'm just going to get some on my sponge dauber, and then I'm just going to sponge it around or daub it around, whatever you want to call it that you're doing with the little sponge dauber tool. And this is just going to give it a very light, pretty shimmer. And it's going to make it look like your color's fading a little bit, but that's the effect that you want. So we're just going to do it all over the place. All right, that looks good to me. And then just put our cap back on. And there you go. That is how simple this technique is. And now you could, if you were in a rush to finish this card, or you could take your heat tool and heat it up, but I like the effect better when it just air dries. So I would just set this aside and then finish the rest of my card or work on a different project and then come back to this later. And that's it. That is how you do the metallic background technique. I hope you all enjoyed today's quick video tutorial. Until next time, happy inking!